You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Bears fans, if this mock draft actually happened in real life, it would be generational. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. First and foremost, Bears fans, happy Friday. I hope you guys are ready for the long weekend and watch some wild card playoff football. Even though the Chicago Bears are not in the NFL playoffs, it's still going to be fun to watch all these amazing matchups this weekend. But to start off the weekend, I wanted to come on here once again and do a 3-round Chicago Bears mock draft. I like doing the shorter mock drafts because sometimes when you do the full 7-round mock drafts, one, it takes a lot of time out of my day. And two, once you get to rounds 4 through 7, it becomes really complicated to find players that you actually want on the Chicago Bears. So once again, today I will be doing a 3-round Chicago Bears mock draft. As always, as I'm going through the picks for the Chicago Bears in this 3-round Chicago Bears mock draft, make sure you comment down below, engage with me, and let me know what you would do if you were in Ryan Poles' shoes for the 2024 NFL Draft. I do want to let you know, Bears fans, before I go any further with today's episode of Keek on the Mic, that this 3-round Chicago Bears mock draft will probably be my most aggressive and most unrealistic mock draft out there. This is all for fun. I don't expect this to actually happen for the Chicago Bears, but let me tell you something. If there was any possibility that Ryan Poles pulls this off, this would definitely complete the Chicago Bears moving forward. So here we go, Bears fans. To start this 3-round Chicago Bears mock draft, I am not only trading down once, I'm going to trade down twice. So I'm going to be doing a double trade down to start this 3-round Chicago Bears mock draft. The first trade will be with the Washington Commanders, where we will send the number 1 overall pick. In return, we get number 2 overall, the 36th overall pick in round 2, and a next year's first in 2025. Then I trade down from 2 to 3 with the New England Patriots and receive the number 3 overall and a 2nd round pick, 34th overall in this year's NFL draft. I think this is massive compensation for the Chicago Bears. Trading back twice, getting 2 2nd round picks that are basically 1st round picks in this year's NFL draft, and also receiving a next year's first in 2025 is absolutely crucial for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears as well. So after trading down twice with the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots, I expect the Washington Commanders to take Caleb Williams. Then I expect the New England Patriots to take Drake May. That would leave the Chicago Bears at number 3 overall with wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Once again, Bears fans, Ryan Poles should not overcomplicate this, especially if Justin Fields is his guy. If he establishes after going through the combines and the meetings with Caleb Williams and Drake May or Jaden Daniels that he is not blown away by any of these quarterback prospects, to me, picking wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. would be absolutely a no-brainer for the Chicago Bears moving forward. Obviously, you add a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., it allows DJ Moore to go into the slot. Marvin Harrison Jr. would then become your outside threat that can actually stretch the field. Obviously, he's a big play wide receiver. He makes plays for his quarterback. I think him and Justin would have a beautiful chemistry. Obviously, DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison Jr. actually ran track together back in the day, so they already have a chemistry and a connection as well. I think this would be a beautiful situation for Justin Fields, DJ Moore, and the entirety of the Chicago Bears offense, especially considering that we're about to add an offensive coordinator that's actually going to play to the offensive strength. This would be a no-brainer pick for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears in the 2024 NFL Draft. Then, Bears fans, after picking wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm going to go bold once again, and I'm going to trade up with the Arizona Cardinals, sending them our number 9 overall and one of the 1st round picks from the 2025 NFL Draft, since we would have 2 1st round picks in the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm going to send them one of those, and I'm going to move all the way up to number 4 to select offensive tackle Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. And don't get me wrong, Bears fans, I absolutely love Braxton Jones, but I just feel like the ceiling of Joe Alt is too good to pass up in this year's NFL Draft. Maybe you push Braxton Jones into more of like a swing tackle and make Joe Alt your left tackle of the future. To me, we have to shore up this offensive line. And to me, when I look at a guy like Braxton Jones, he's good, but he's not great. I expect Joe Alt to be great in the National Football League. When you look at a guy like Joe Alt, he stands at 6'8", 320 something pounds. He's athletic. He's nasty in the run game. This would be the perfect left tackle option of the future for the Chicago Bears moving forward. It would shore up your tackle spots with 2 really good young tackles in Darnell Wright and Joe Alt. this would be a beautiful situation for Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offensive line. And Bears fans, I don't want to hear in the comment section that there's no way that this can actually happen. There's no way you're going to be able to trade for number 9 all the way up to number 4 and have back-to-back picks at 3 and 4. Let me stop you right there. Do you guys remember what the Houston Texans did last year, where they had the number 2 overall pick? They selected CJ Stroud, and then they traded up all the way to the number 3 spot to select Will Anderson Jr. out of Alabama. So it is possible, Bears fans. I know it may be a little bit unrealistic, but it is possible that if we offer enough compensation to the Arizona Cardinals, this would be a massive move for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears to get 2 very good talents that can play right away and help this football team win. Now moving on to the second round, where we have 2 early second round picks from the double trade down that we did in the first round. With pick number 34, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Tyler Nubin, safety out of Minnesota. Once again, I've had this guy in past mock drafts. This would be Eddie Jackson's replacement. The guy is 6'2". He has good range. He can play in the box and make consistent tackles and lay big hits as well, but he can also play that free safety spot, which I would expect him to do, to be that Eddie Jackson replacement. He's an absolute lockdown safety as well. When the ball is thrown his way, he's absolutely locked down. I believe the QB rating's at like 40.2. So the dude is absolutely a stud. I think that would be a perfect replacement for Eddie Jackson. And obviously, it would be a cheaper option than Eddie Jackson. Obviously, if you cut Eddie Jackson, you save about $13 million. So I think this would be the perfect scenario moving forward for the Chicago Bears defense. With my second pick in the second round at pick number 36, I continue to beef up this offensive line by picking center Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. Once again, Bears fans, this is my favorite center in this year's NFL draft. To me, this is the plug and play player. And I said it before and I'll say it again. There is no way in this world that Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears can go into next season with Lucas Patrick as the starting center for the Chicago Bears. We are desperate for an upgrade at the center position. It's one of the most important positions, if not the most important position on the offensive line. It's a position that has been neglected over the last couple of years. It's finally time for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears to find a franchise center that can be here for the next 10 to 12 years. And I personally feel that Jackson Powers Johnson can be that player for the Chicago Bears for years to come. Now moving on to round 3 with pick number 75. Once again, I have the Chicago Bears beefing up the offensive line once again with guard Christian Haynes out of Connecticut. Once again, he was also in one of my past mock drafts as well. For me personally, I am not sold on guard Nate Davis. Obviously, he was in and out of the lineup with injuries. Obviously, he had some personal issues as well. I don't want to hold that against them. But Nate Davis was also a very inconsistent player. Maybe he will be better next year. But I just think having some reassurance with a guy like Christian Haynes and maybe develop him a little bit to be your future right guard will be huge for the Chicago Bears, especially with the uncertainty I feel in regards to Nate Davis moving forward. So I feel like this would be the perfect player. Once again, we need to invest heavy on the offensive line to make sure it's shored up for either Justin Fields, or if you move on from Justin Fields, your new rookie quarterback. So overall, Bears fans, this completes my 3-round Chicago Bears mock draft on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. Once again, let's go over the results. First thing I did is I did a double trade down with the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots. I was still able to pick wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 3 overall. Then I traded back up, sending our number 9 overall pick in a round 1 in 2025 to the Arizona Cardinals to get their pick number 4. And with the 4th overall pick, I picked tackle Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. With my 2 second-round picks, I picked safety Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota and center Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. And then in round 3, pick number 75, I picked guard Christian Haynes out of Connecticut. For me, in round 1, my motives were very clear. If we keep Justin Fields, go give him a flashy new weapon in wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., and then shore up the left side of the offensive line by picking a massive left tackle in Joe Alt. Then you add a safety to your defense. That's going to be Eddie Jackson's replacement in Tyler Nubin. And then you add your center of the future in Jackson Powers Johnson. And then I finished off with adding a little bit of depth piece and hopefully our future right guard and Christian Haynes. I absolutely love this 3-round mock draft. This is probably one of my favorite mock drafts because once again, like I said earlier on in this episode of Keek on the Mic, I went aggressive, I went bold, and I personally think if this actually happens for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears, this would be the draft that sets us up for years to come. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. How do you grade my Chicago Bears 3-round mock draft on today's episode of Keek on the Mic? Let me know down below in the comment section. But all in all, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for our all-new Bears podcast right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys. And as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Keek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.